Let's move on to Russian President Vladimir Putin, speaking of the former Soviet Union, retaliating against U.S. sanctions by cutting 755 American diplomatic employees in the country. Are there really that many Americans in those roles in that country? That seems to be overstating it, and a very kind of Cold War era-esque move by Putin.
Yeah, well, no, there aren't that many Americans. There's only about a quarter of those 1,100, 1,200 employees of the embassy in Russia are Americans. So most of the people who are not going to be employed by the embassy any longer will be Russians. Those are local hires we bring on to help with sort of admin and clerical tasks. The bad news with Russia is that this bill that Congress has passed on Russia sanctions and that they're waiting for the president to sign constrains the executive branch's foreign policy in a way that every president before him would have rejected. No president would have supported a bill that does not effectively allow him to veto or waive congressionally mandated sanctions. In particular, you saw this with the Bush administration fiercely opposing Iranian sanctions in 2007 that would have similarly constrained their options.
But this was passed by veto-proof margins. So
Right.
The president cannot veto the sanctions that have come out of the House and Senate.
Right.
Is this an example of the president's very aggressive stance on Russia backfiring on him and kind of provoking Congress to take action that he can't do anything?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think also there's some political games. Clearly the Democrats like to play with the Russia issue just because it gives them political benefit. I think also in the past there have been people like Carl Levin and Chuck Hagel who have pushed back institutionally against any limitation of the executive branch's power to conduct foreign policy, who simply aren't there anymore.
I want to switch gears to this story that came out of Australia about increased airport security. There was a foiled terror plot there. Australian police arrested 4 men suspected of reportedly planning to bomb an airplane in the country. Do you expect security to respond here, or is this just a plot that's specific to that region?
Yeah, no, I think the weak point in airline security is what we can bring on, right? I mean, that's why John Kelly has been focused on, over the last couple of months, on whether we're still allowed to bring laptops on planes coming into the United States. There's so many little nooks and crevices in our carry-on luggage that we can hide gas. In this case, looks like what they were trying to put in some sort of kitchen device, a toxic gas or explosives or whatever. And it's very tough for security in a rapid time frame to check all of those nooks and crannies.
It's really frightening. Andrew, thank you for that.
Thanks,
Andrew Peak, you covered the world for us.
Too easy.
You didn't make you didn't make us feel better, but that's not why we invited you.
Can we talk about movies now? Like, do I get that segment?
You can stay here and we can talk about Dunkirk. Have you seen Dunkirk? Have you seen Dunkirk?
No, but I can't wait.
Okay, same here.
Yeah, okay.
Christopher Nolan, he always is amazing. Thank you, Andrew.